मंत्री
इसमें
जी,
आता है उनका उनका
भास्कर ज्योति महंता हमारे साथ है, फॉर्मर डीजीपी आसाम। इन्होंने एक कलर बैंड का भी एक अचीवमेंट किया था, मैं उतना याद नहीं आ रहा है क्योंकि पुलिस फोर्स में ये कलर जल्दी से दिया नहीं जाता है। इनकी स्टेट के ड्यूरिंग हिज टेन्योर एज डीजीपी द आसाम स्टेट पुलिस वाज कन्फर्ड दैट रिकॉग्निशन। भास्कर ज्योति महंता ने मुझे आज सुबह एक वीडियो भेजा, रेबेलियन रिज्यूवेल्ड। बहुत प्यारा वीडियो है नॉर्थ ईस्ट का, मैं सबको फॉरवर्ड करूंगा। ही इज एन अथॉरिटी ऑन द सब्जेक्ट ऑफ नॉर्थ ईस्ट एंड इश्यूज ऑफ नॉर्थ ईस्ट। यस, भास्कर ज्योति महंता जी has raised his hand. Yes, former DGP Assam ji, please tell us.
Uh, both the speakers just before about naxalism, it's very important to pull the rug from the beneath the feet of these naxals or the insurgents, whatever the case may be. As far as Assam is concerned, uh, we did similar kind of a thing in respect of the nascent naxals who have come in here in Assam. Right in the nip, we have nipped them in the bud right at the beginning as they were forming the lead committees, etc. We went all out towards their constituencies and ensured that nothing happens, and whole lot of them got killed, and they were basically branded as Ulfa, but then they were actually Naxals. And the nature of Naxalism in Assam and Northeast is different. Like the PLA, People's Liberation Army in Manipur, they are essentially Marxist Leninists, and they take their cue from the Chinese. They're very Maoist in their approach, and their behavior is not like the Naxals in Bastar or Chhattisgarh or wherever. So mainland India, their quality of offense and then organization is very different. Anyway, we nipped them in the bud by way of ensuring the carpet from beneath their feet had been pulled. Thereby, I'm meaning that the constituency's requirements were addressed. The same was the case in respect of Ulfa and the other insurgents during 2019 to 2022, 23. We have closed all the terror shops in Assam, like, the Boru insurgency got over, the Hill insurgency got over, and Ulfa is almost on the verge of, closure right now. And this is basically in addition to the police effort. We have absolutely ensured that we went into the heart of the people. We didn't do psychological operations. So-called psyops is a terminology I'm averse to, basically because people see through you. If you pull people from the villages and do their medical camps, zabardasti mein, then they understand that you are doing it with a purpose to elicit information from them. So that doesn't really help. You really need to do it all your heart. 1,204 children whose fathers have been killed in extremist violence. And we looked after their education over a period of right from 2001 till now. It's still on. The children have become doctors now who we adopted, right? Film that you have seen, The Rebellion Bejeweled. Here is a case of a particular Ulfa character who we tapped right inside the jail, and then he had put jewelry in the name rebellion. So by way of going towards community, he has done his rebellion against injustice. He has indulged in rebellion against, poverty. And he actually has gone into the people, and with the help of a whole lot of corporates, all right, we also ensured, especially Oil India Limited really helped. In respect of the CSR that you had mentioned, of late, what we noticed is that though people want to do a lot of good things, the community itself comes up. The corporates nowadays need recommendations from high and mighty. Like the politicians have to give you, okay, then only the corporates give you some CSR. Otherwise, they'll throw doles like 1 lakh rupees, and they won't really go out unless it is recommended by some honorable ministers or some big people like the central minister.
Though I have had 250 odd services people try with my forum, but very rarely we come across such candid confessions from a former DGP.
This is what I have noticed, basically because here in Majuli, the missing tribe, they took weapons, and 8 of them had gone into the NSCN camps in Hebron. They wanted to take up weapons and start another outfit. So I have requested all the operating forces. I was law and order, IGP law and order for 4 years in Assam. I have said, give me an opportunity to find out why these kids are taking weapons, because it was very odd that the missing tribes are taking weapons against the state. Then I found that there was a social divide among the Missings and the local Vaishnavite monasteries, etc. So in the cultural practices that take place in the nearby villages of the Assamese speaking people, they do not give part to the Missings. So this hiatus has been taken advantage by the Christian missionaries. The entire Christian missionaries had come big time, had helped, given a whole lot of doles, like, schools, they have set up hospitals, and they would give mosquito nets and, like, doles like that to these people, and they have attracted them towards Christianity. That's when these people have taken weapons, and I had gone there. I asked for some time before deploying a company of CRPF there. I said, let's not put CRPF right now, because for putting up a force there will cause more hiatus, more alienation on the part of these tribes. So I interacted personally with these youngsters of the missing community and their oldies said, and their forefathers have been watching the practices, cultural practices right next door, right in the neighborhood of Assamese speaking people, never have been given an opportunity to take part. So I had started an organization that time called Srimanta Foundation, through which we have introduced the system of bhavana. The Srimant Shankardev, 15th century saint, he had introduced this drama called bhavana, Natya Shastra based, dramatic performances wherein, beautiful things are done, and they wanted to be a part of it. So we translated the literature of Srimad Shankardev Ji. We translated the literature of the other apostles into missing language. We made them do bhavana. We said, you don't need to take up weapons. Come, learn these things. And we ended up setting up 3 schools out there. Later, it has become our non-police project. It is still going on, but then we do not get help from the corporates in terms of, unless it is recommended by some central minister, etc. These are the problems we are facing. Otherwise, yes, there is no missing tribes have not joined those groups, and we have also advocated very fiercely among the Satra institutions, among the Vaishnavite monasteries. We said, come on, they are your brothers. You must take them into your fold. Srimad Shankardev was, philosophy was so very inclusive. It would take the entire people together in its fold. So you do it yourself. Nowadays, things are much better. Yeah. Thank you.
Mahantaji, just 8 more minutes. Please stay with us. Bhaskar Mahantaji. Bhaskar Mahantaji, are you there?
Yes, yes.
Anup Chetia was on a show with me couple of years back, post his surrender, the Alpha Commander. He met me, we spoke, we had a good time together. But then what has been the development? Because in the last 2 years, could you just take us through some successful examples which could be replicated in the Naxal zones which have been eradicated of the Red Terror?
Naxal zones, Indian nation has really shown itself. They have defeated the Naxalism. It is almost in the verge of final closure. So, but then, yes, as mentioned by the honorable generals, we shouldn't be sitting on accolades only. We must keep our security apparatus absolutely alert and watchful, like a hawk all the time on the situation, so that it doesn't again go back. Going back can happen if the negative things, like which was mentioned by Mr. Prakash Singh, like, corporates piling on, land alienation and deforestations, deprivation, a perception of deprivation on the part of those constituencies of these insurgents or Naxals must be done away with actually. So there ought to be a real, genuine intervention, which has been of late appearing to be taking place with a vigor. Absolutely, this realization has happened finally, thankfully, with the political brasses. It's not that merely by some bureaucratic or police or army intervention. Yes, the security apparatus can contain it to an extent. After that, whatever has been arrived at, whatever understanding has been arrived at, has to be really implemented in letter and spirit. For example, the Boru Accord, which was signed, finally, it has been actually implemented. The police, on our part, we had really insisted wherever there was a gap, the implementation wasn't taking place. We went whole hog. Gave a lot of pressure on the civilian administration and asking them, here is a provision which is not being implemented, and now they are being implemented in absolute full scale, and accordingly the need for taking up weapons have disappeared on the part of these Boru tribes. Now, development has really come about. Similarly, the Karbi Anglong. Yeah, there are issues, all right, in the Karbi Anglong, but the administration of weapons has gone down. But what is very important, the takeaway, Rajkumar McCann was mentioned, but UNLF has not played a very good role during the recent Manipur crisis. Not only UNLF, talk about PRIPAC, talk about PLA, talk about the Meitei groups. 5,000 weapons were looted from police armory in a couple of days. It's not a joke, and not even 1/4 of them have been recovered so far. And they're still lying with, incidents of all kinds, be it Meitei, be it cookies. Now, administration of ceasefire administration. This is something very important. The insurgents are called for truce, called for discussion, negotiation. During this intervening period, where are the weapons being kept? Weapons are kept at the initially kept with the insurgent themselves because they don't want to call it a surrender. They want to call it a respectful negotiation with government of India, and accordingly they retain the weapons. There is an SOP which is generally signed for the heck of signing, but then this SOP is so weak that the command over the existing weapons by the insurgents themselves, who are supposed to be in negotiation, continue to remain with the insurgency. This is not something Indian nation must do. It must take away the weapons in the first place. Otherwise, weapons at the disposal of these insurgents groups, even if they are in negotiation with the government of India, must be in sooner or later brought to the custody of the state, and then only these kind of things like whatever happened in Manipur would not happen. And we brought out a paper on this particular aspect, and I believe now it is also being looked at very seriously by all and sundry. Out here in Assam, I think this is a very major takeaway that holding of weapons by the insurgents or by the Naxals must not be allowed. This must be really administered and ensured.